Hi everybody, it has been such a long time since we've talked to you guys. We had a great break for the summer and now we're back to sing some more songs and have a little bit more fun in primary. I hope everyone's had a great summertime and was able to do some fun things with their families. And that as we start going back to school and having school from home and everything, that we are still able to have a song with us in our hearts. So I thought we would start by singing the books in the Book of Mormon, just as a refresher and to help us catch up with where we are. So that one's first and second books of Nephi. That one, here we go. First and second books of Nephi, Jacob, Enos, Jerem, Omni, words of Mormon, and Mosiah in the Book of Mormon. Alma, Helaman, third, fourth, Nephi, Mormon, Ether, and Moroni. Learn the teachings of the prophets in the Book of Mormon. So when last I talked to you, I think we were still just at the very end of Mosiah. And in like the 3 months that we haven't been doing this, all we've done is get through Alma and into Helaman, because Alma is such a long, exciting book. So we did first and second books of Nephi. We read Jacob, Enos, Jerem, Omni. We did words of Mormon and Mosiah. And then we did Alma and Helaman. So we're almost done with the Book of Mormon. We have third, fourth, Nephi, Mormon, Ether, and Moroni, but we're getting close. In the time that I haven't seen you, we've learned a lot. I think my very last video, we were talking about Alma and how he was kind of being bad, and then the angel came and turned him to being good. So since that time, we've learned a lot about Alma the younger. We learned all about his friend Ammon, and how he went on a mission to the Lamanites. We learned all about how Alma and his brethren, they tried to help the Nephites make right decisions. And then we learned a lot about the wars with Captain Moroni and the 2,000 stripling warriors, and about Helaman, and now we're in the Book of Helaman, about the son of Helaman. Anyway, it gets complicated. We're going to sing now Book of Mormon Stories. We're going to start at the beginning with Book of Mormon Stories that my teacher tells to me. And then we're going to do the verse about Abinadi and the verse about Alma. And then I'm going to teach you 2 new verses, one verse about Ammon and another verse about the stripling warriors. So this is going to be exciting. All right. Book of Mormon Stories that my teacher tells to me are about the Lamanites from ancient history. Long ago their fathers came from far across the sea, given this land if they live righteously. Lamanites met others who were seeking liberty, and the land soon welcomed those who wanted to be free. Book of Mormon Stories say that we must brothers be, given this land if they live righteously. The next verse is the one about Abinadi. Don't forget Abinadi, who stood before the king. All chained up from head to toe, the gospel he did bring. If he would deny it, then the king would set him free. He was true and he died righteously. And then the next verse is about Alma. Alma was rebellious and he fought against the right. Then one day an angel came and turned him to the light. Struck before his brethren, Alma learned humility. Then he taught in the land righteously. Okay, I can't hear you, but let me just say, really good singing from everyone who was singing along. We're going to learn the next 2 verses from Book of Mormon Stories. The first verse that we're going to learn is about Ammon. I know we talked about him, a while ago, but let's learn the verse about him, okay? So we remember that Ammon was a missionary and that he went and served the Lamanites. And that's exactly how the song starts. Ammon was a missionary serving Lamanites. So I thought we would, missionaries, they have name tags. And so I thought we'd make a little name tag with our fingers and go, Ammon was a missionary serving Lamanites. And we got to remember what he did there was that he took care of King Lamoni's sheep. So it says, Ammon was a missionary serving Lamanites, tending King Lamoni's sheep for several days and nights. So, tending King Lamoni's sheep. So we will take this, and this is a shepherd's crook. So when shepherds would go around, they would have one of these, and this is what they would use when the sheep was being bad. They would take it and they would grab a sheep by the neck with this, and they could also use it to fight off like wolves and lions and things like that. So you probably don't have one of these, but I want you to imagine. So you're just gonna tending King Lamoni's sheep for several days and nights. So days and nights. All right, ready? So Alma was a missionary serving Lamanites, tending King Lamoni's sheep for several days and nights. I forgot the next part, so let me just look at it real quick. Oh, so he tended the sheep, and then robbers came, and he saved the sheep by fighting fearlessly. That happened. So we're going to do robbers came, he saved the sheep, and then we're going to do fighting with swords. By fighting fearlessly, he had learned he could live righteously. He had learned he could live righteously. So let's try to put all of that together. Ammon was a missionary serving Lamanites, tending King Lamoni's sheep for several days and nights. Robbers came, he saved the sheep by fighting fearlessly. He had learned he could live righteously. Great singing. I mean, I heard you from here. That verse about Ammon, you nailed it. All right, the next verse that we're going to learn now is about the 2,000 stripling warriors. One of my favorite stories, maybe one of yours. I hope you remember it. This is the one where there were 2,000 young men. They wanted to help the Nephites fight off the Lamanites. They asked Helaman to be their leader. And he writes that he was so impressed with them because of the amount of faith that they had in Jesus Christ. They believed that he would protect them as long as they believed in him and kept his commandments. And the reason they believed that is because their mothers had taught it to them. And I like to think that your mother and my mother and all of the mothers around us are doing their very best to teach us all the things that are true so that we can have faith like the 2,000 stripling warriors. So let's learn their song. So the song, this verse, starts with, once 2,000 sons of God were called to fight the foe. So we'll say, once 2,000 sons of God were called to fight the foe. Once 2,000 sons of God were called to fight the foe. Marching as an army into battle they did go. So, once 2,000 sons of God were called to fight the foe. Marching as an army into battle they did go. And then I really like this next part. They believed that Christ the Lord their guardian would be. So they believed that Christ the Lord their guardian would be. They believed that Christ the Lord their guardian would be. And then the last part. They had learned they should live righteously. That's basically the same words as we learned for Ammon, which is, he had learned he should live righteously. This one is, they had learned they should live righteously. And who do they learn it from? Their moms. Let's try to string them together. Once 2,000 sons of God were called to fight the foe, marching as an army into battle they did go. They believed that Christ the Lord their guardian would be. They had learned they should live righteously. Okay, let's try to put the two verses that we just learned together. So we'll sing about Ammon, and then we'll sing about the 2,000 stripling warriors. Got it. Ammon was a missionary serving Lamanites, tending King Lamoni's sheep for several days and nights. Robbers came, he saved the sheep by fighting fearlessly. He had learned he could live righteously. Once 2,000 sons of God were called to fight the foe, marching as an army into battle they did go. They believed that Christ the Lord their guardian would be. They had learned they should live righteously. That was a lot of fun. I'm excited to have learned in those two new verses, and we're going to keep practicing them more and more. I am really excited to sing I Will Walk with Jesus with you guys. It's just been a long time. I hope that it comes back to you and you remember it. If it doesn't, that's fine. Just listen to me sing it and you can rewind it and sing it again. Jesus walked in wisdom, Jesus grew in truth. He showed love to God and man while in his youth. Jesus wants to guide me, Jesus shows the way, calling me to come and walk with him each day. As I walk with Jesus to my home above, he will bless me with his Spirit and fill me with his love. Change my heart forever and help me clearly see. I will walk with Jesus and he will walk with me. I can grow like Jesus, I will try each day, promising to walk his path and there to stay, standing by my Savior, safe within his care. Step by step I'll follow and his love I'll share. As I walk with Jesus to my home above, he will bless me with his Spirit and fill me with his love. Change my heart forever and help me clearly see. I will walk with Jesus and he will walk with me. This has been really fun. I'm glad we were able to take some time to sing together today. I've really had a lot of good time and good experience reading the Book of Mormon with our family over the past several months. I loved learning about Alma and Helaman and the stripling warriors. I think my testimony has gotten stronger that the Book of Mormon is true, that the people who we read about really lived. And I'm really grateful for those who took the time to write down what happened in their lives and all those record keepers who preserved the records throughout time so that we have the Book of Mormon today. I wanted to finish today by singing just the first verse of I Am a Child of God, because it's one of my favorites, and I hope we can feel the Spirit together as we sing it. I am a child of God, and He has sent me here, has given me an earthly home with parents kind and dear. Lead me, guide me, walk beside me, help me find the way. Teach me all that I must do to live with Him someday.